Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Watch where you're going.
So you do speak English.
Haha, busted.
If there's one thing Exokitty delivers in spades, it's love interests. The Netflix series throws a bunch of charming, complicated people into Kitty's life, but out of all of them, it's Kitty and Minho who have become the pairing fans are quietly rooting for the most. The show is a spin-off of the popular To All the Boys I've Loved Before movies, only this time it shifts the action over to South Korea, where Kitty's off to attend the very same boarding school her late mother once did. Her reasons for heading there are twofold. She's eager to finally be in the same place as her long-distance boyfriend Dae, and she also wants to connect more deeply with her mom's memories since she lost her too young to really remember her. It's proven to be a worthy follow-up to Lara Jean's swoon-worthy rom-com adventures because Kitty is more than capable of carrying her own love story torch. While Lara Jean's romances built up slowly over the years, Kitty's the type to fall hard and fast, which means the series packs in several potential pairings in a pretty short window. What makes it even better is that her crushes often turn into genuine friendships, giving the whole thing a nice layered feel. Through 2 seasons, Kitty's had more heartbreak than happy endings. Pretty much everyone who's had feelings for her ends up with a bruised heart, and the people she's chased haven't exactly worked out either, at least not yet. She started her Korean adventure as Dae's girlfriend, but the two of them eventually realized they were better off as friends. Along the way, Kitty discovered she's bisexual when she developed feelings for Yuri, and she even tested the waters of dating girls with Pravina. While all that was unfolding, there was Minho, her frenemy, who surprised everyone by catching feelings for Kitty himself. And eventually, Kitty started seeing him differently too. Out of all her love interests so far, Minho stands out as the best match for Kitty. That's partly because he's the only one she didn't immediately try to jump into something romantic with. With Dae, it was a whirlwind vacation romance that quickly morphed into a long-distance relationship. Yuri was someone she struggled to resist before impulsively kissing her, despite them both being tangled up with other people. And Pravina was more of a love-at-first-sight situation that Kitty hoped would be an easy, pressure-free way to explore her sexuality. Minho and Yuri are the only two who didn't start as direct romantic options for Kitty. But with Yuri, Kitty was still instantly consumed by her crush. She spent tons of time overthinking it, confiding in her friend Q, and accidentally wrecking the relationships around her. It was intense and messy, and like a lot of quick-burning crushes, it started to fizzle out just as rapidly. The secrecy and cheating that colored Yuri and Kitty's dynamic made it feel a bit too toxic to be the endgame romance, at least for now. Minho, on the other hand, is the definition of a slow burn, and that's honestly what makes it so compelling. Most of the best rom-coms play the long game with their couples, letting the chemistry simmer before it boils over. Minho and Kitty spend plenty of time getting to know each other before either one even admits to themselves that there might be more there. They're also not shy about acknowledging each other's attractiveness even when romance isn't on the table. Their blunt honesty and the way they constantly surprise each other help build a solid friendship, which becomes the perfect launchpad for something deeper. That foundation matters. Watching them learn from what doesn't work in other relationships only strengthens the case for them down the line. Rom-coms have been thriving on classic tropes forever, and enemies to lovers is one of the most reliable ones out there. It's the same formula that made Elizabeth and Darcy in Pride and Prejudice timeless and worked wonders for Anthony and Kate in Bridgerton. It's also wildly popular in K-dramas, which is something Exokitty pulls from liberally. Minho sizes Kitty up the minute he meets her, convinced she's just a lovesick girl stalking his best friend to Korea. Since he doesn't understand Kitty's real reasons for being there, his judgment is clouded, and he treats her accordingly. That makes Kitty understandably put off by him too. She pegs him as spoiled and self-centered until she sees his home life and starts realizing there's more to him. Season 1 really plays up how unfair they are to each other up until a turning point when they bond while prepping a holiday meal. That cracks the door open from enemies to something softer like frenemies. By season 2, that dynamic is solidified. Even though Minho confesses his feelings at the end of the first season, it leaves Kitty confused, and they struggle a bit to figure out how to be friends afterward. But Minho proves he's solid boyfriend material by being there for Kitty every step of the way as she tries to connect with her mom's side of the family. Kitty in return shows up for him when his girlfriend turns out to be manipulating his dad. They've already traveled from enemies to frenemies to genuine friends, all while acknowledging there's definitely something else simmering under the surface. It wouldn't take much for them to take that final step into classic rom-com territory. The show's even dropped some pretty obvious hints that Kitty and Minho are the endgame couple. In season 2, we get a cameo from Noah Centineo as Peter, Lara Jean's longtime love. Seeing Peter pop up serves a couple of purposes. It reassures fans that he and Lara Jean are still solid, even doing the long-distance thing, and it also gives Peter a chance to zero in on Kitty and Minho's vibe. Peter picks up on Minho's feelings almost instantly, noticing how Minho uses Kitty's last name and recalls all her annoying oversharing, a dead giveaway he's totally hooked. Plus, Kitty talks to Peter about Minho, which matters. Sure, Peter probably already knows about Day, but Kitty chooses to open up about Minho. That says a lot. The show also loves echoing Lara Jean and Peter's relationship through Kitty and Minho, from Kitty fainting on the track with Minho rushing to her side to that hot tub moment they share. It's not exactly subtle. Even the actors are intrigued by where things could go. They've all been pretty careful not to pick sides since they know how invested and split fans can be. They've also pointed out that it's all up to the writers, who can flip the script at any moment. When Entertainment Tonight asked about Kitty and Minho possibly ending up together, Heon Lee, who plays Minho, admitted he wasn't sure. He described Minho as a bit of a free spirit who goes with the flow but wouldn't shy away if something with Kitty sparked. He also acknowledged that enemies to lovers is a classic route, so fans shouldn't be shocked if that's where things head. Anna Cathcart, who plays Kitty, called choosing between Yuri and Minho dangerous territory, but agreed they deserved a chance to see where their feelings could go. Meanwhile, Gia Kim, Yuri, said she'd personally love to see Kitty and Minho together. Almost the entire cast told BuzzFeed they're fans of enemies to lovers storylines, especially in K-dramas, so it's exactly the kind of arc they'd enjoy watching too. As for what's next, season 2 ends with Minho and Kitty planning to spend their break together. Minho's family is a big deal in K-pop, and Kitty jumps at the chance to tag along on a tour. Sure, it's framed as a friendly hangout, but there's no denying the tension that's been building all season. This could play out a few ways. They might finally cross that line into romance on tour, but the complications, like their tangled friend group and Day, could blow things up when they're back at school. Or maybe they just hang out as friends, growing even closer with all that tension still humming beneath the surface until it finally boils over later. There's also a decent chance Kitty doesn't end up going at all. Her dad might want her home for the break, which would force her to focus on herself for a while, possibly the healthiest option for Kitty at this stage. No matter which path the show chooses, it feels pretty clear that Kitty and Minho are headed for each other eventually. They're the slow burn couple destined to close out the series, even if it takes a bunch more twists, turns, and drama to get there. And honestly, that's exactly what makes it fun to watch. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.